I was not being held there, Logan Phillips, I know that. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this. It'll come out one way or another. This poem's from my grandmother, who I thought at one point, there was a really scary night where we thought we were going to lose her. I'm lucky enough to have both of them still alive. The one we thought we were going to lose is one I'm not very close with. And so, after the reality of that, I went home and wrote this poem. She has a spinal degenerative disease, and so that plays into this poem. The vertebrae of my grandmother's spine is falling like a deck of cards onto the frail table of a body. Some days, a simple breeze seems to rock this skin-thin structure, voice like paper in the wind, shaking. Her body bent, like a flower searching for sun just before dusk, lungs searching for breath, sometimes to be found. I find her beautifully resilient, a fighter, sunflower rising to meet the sun, taking the day for what it's worth and blessing the world with one of her tomorrows. My grandmother's spine is losing teeth like the hungry jaws of unplayed pianos, tiny notes falling on the empty keys of tiny bones. She simply speaks, doesn't so much as sing anymore. But my uncle, he still owns the baby grand. And she may not dance, but her and my grandfather shuffle like a walk to the mailbox is a two-step. Table for two, night out on the town with the western get-ups and the whole nine. She's a 10. Satin pillow to keep the hair just right. She still asks about it, refuses to lose the dignity of being put together as she unzips at the seams. I see her family trying to patchwork together conversations in hospital hallways. Her husband, my grandfather, continually joking with nurses and grandchildren. His attempts to keep us from crying rub off. He's always laughing. She hears it. Above the cacophony of hospital lobbies, his voice, her constant. The sheet music she strung, ribcage lullabies to 2+ generations worth of grandchildren, kind of constant. Dependable. Bedside frequency. In the past 12 months, that sound has been the only thing that can comfort her. Frequently. Daddy. That's what she calls him. And he answers the call. The challenge, the invitation to shuffle down to the parking garage days later to take her home where she's more comfortable, he says. We always let them go home, but they're more comfortable. Recounting and reminiscing about riverboats, casinos, Mexico, Laughlin, Mazatlan, New Orleans, steady on the go-getters, gallivanting half across countries and more so. Second boarding passes, a passage permitting returns to rest, but these days, recliners and routines seem to fit them better than the boarding passes and luggage of old. But they still pass time, still shuffle. The card's not yet put away until we find it again. Beautifully resilient. Okay, one more. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one because this one's a little bit more energetic. So this has character sketches in it. Some of them are real, some of them are fake, some of them are half real, half fake. I write a lot about nothing at all, and they tend to be poems. And so in my workshops with everybody,
they realize that I just throw like 8 things at you and then see what comes out, because that's how I do it. And so this poem is kind of a collection of like 8 things that all fit together and worked. So here we go. Thank you for your time, by the way. So and stick around. Let's see who wins. Even though it doesn't matter who wins, because they're all coming back. I work with a girl who never watches the previews or reads the backs of books. She sleeps away the dreams tucked beneath the mattress and writes love letters along the edges of dirty napkins. She says love's easier to throw away when things get a little messy. She tangles hair around her index and cashes in smiles like rent checks. Needless to say, she shows up to slang coffee each day with her bills paid in full. I know a little boy with lightning in his fingertips and thunder in his belly who can barely contain himself when he has a story to tell me. Sammy, a tiny soldier with boots laced for a march in any direction you're walking, as long as you got an open ear, because he's always got a mouth that's talking. This little boy has seen far more than the world should have thrown at him this far, yet he wears wounded memories like battle scars. He's brave. I know a man who feels like he's past the point of where he can be saved. A 12-ounce champ who never goes down for the count but has a hard time figuring out what day it is. So he just lives for the now and things, for the cool comfort of a quarter in his palm, or the hot beat of the concrete beneath his feet, the feel of this gritty city between his teeth. He tells me life's easier this way, because otherwise people would drive him crazy. I know a lady who juggles 4 families or more on any given day, but always has time when a granddaughter wants to play my mother. A simple set of hands and feet that accomplishes unimaginable feats. She's beautiful. A Mack truck filled from grill to bumper with whole business. Listen, she works her way around a kitchen the way a doctor does an operating room, and controls many lives like a producer does from his recording booth. She's mastering as we speak. I know a man who speaks confidently through these sheets, a poet who's never felt comfortable in my own skin, so I've decided to decorate it anew. Emblems, ornaments, adornments. I'm fancying myself a painting of ugly beautiful, a collage of where I've been and what I know. These people are a gaudy collection of heads, shoulders, knees, and toes. These ears know the sounds of a city, streets sharing themselves with little boys and ladies, with drunken men who convince themselves they're not the one that's crazy. You are. So get used to it. It's simple. We're human. A trash heap of organs and emotions, of fingernails and promises cut short. After the animals, we as a failed attempt to a God's last resort for perfection. We're not perfect. We're bad days built of nothing more than bottle caps. Fuck front teeth. We're the little boy who at Christmas says, all I want is Dad to come back. We're underappreciated human beings who hold lives together with willed wishes and lost sleep. We're simple. Simple in a way that could never be perfect. For fear of forgetting or complicating how we got here. We're simply human.